Does anyone have a copy of the Theorems of Pangram? I want to try something.
I wish I could help, sweetheart. But the only copy I know of was lost somewhere in the...
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. I almost turned my back on animancy. And if I'm being honest, it was a relief. But now that we're here, who am I to reject my upbringing, my potential? My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Who could rest at a time like this? Kai, have you ever met a marine godlike? One of Andra's children?
Looks like we'll have to find another way. Through. Or not.
We've got company!
Look out!
East ahead!
I think this is the only way down. After you.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? the meaning of this. It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. But worse. So much worse. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Wanna know what I think? I think someone's laughing at me. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You... heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
We feel her pain like initials carved in our bark. She needs answers only we can give.
What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Easier said than done. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade. You have already learned more than we could ever teach. We know only growth and stillness, root and flower.
We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
Envoy, what do you need? If I must.
All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's. Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No Animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. Of course I can. But now, I can do them for the right reasons. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. They probably won't even notice me. But stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I know they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
Giada's parents would be proud. And maybe a bit worried.
Hey,
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. Who do you want to talk about? Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the vricus, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Until next time. So those green people in the garden.
when you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. And you've got to enjoy it where you can find it. Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sapadal up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, I mean, when, we escape this place. Lucky thing your emperor sent his best representative as his envoy, right? You'll have your work cut out for you. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelgard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Aedyr's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, envoy.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure. Darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. The seabed speaks in riddles, a pearl whose shell we cannot grasp. We would run. Roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. We did once. New sweet peas bloomed in the grove. We would try. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We feel nothing amiss. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Child's play.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
It seems I was not clear enough when I last spoke with you.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos threatens us all. We will ensure order prevails. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. course I do. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You know the trials of battle. You cannot pass judgment on me. They bring raw from ashes. Your tyrant destroys for its own sake.
We moved the earth and sky to stop her. We did not mean this.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Aedyr is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. I refuse to even dignify that with a response. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Actual working magfolk? It isn't looking this way, is it?
Let's finish this. I was worried for a second.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like, it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. What I am now is much better than what I was becoming then. That much is certain.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Right. Okay, I can do this. Let's get into it.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
I have as much closure as I'm going to get. I am part of this land's god now. A dream of the land.
Were you always such a blessed day poet? Or is that a death thing?
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
They're right, Viate. This lava flows directly between us.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Kamayu.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know? Sorry, Envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right?
You can talk to us, Marius. That is, if you think talking will help.
Well, obviously it wasn't my favorite thing, but...
Grief is strange. You lose someone, and you carry around a little hole inside yourself till you die. Or maybe the same is true for the dead. Your friend obviously loved you.
How did we get on this topic? I thought we were talking about pancakes.
Protect the envoy!
The envoy needs me!
Enemy! Come on! Come on!
He's ahead.
Heal yourself! Quickly! Now it's just a time-forgotten ruin. Left to clean up the battlefield. Now it's just a time-forgotten ruin. Your reputation is well deserved. The garden's beauty. Watch your step. There's no telling what lives here.
Wait, isn't that Tama's cairn? Oh dear.
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. I I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. Yeah, it is. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. You're right. I am. It's like you said. I'm not letting my regret define me. I won't make that mistake again. And we've got farther to go before this is over. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Child's play.
Charge it up. Just a little spark. little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. Charging. Little power goes a long way.
To see all this in its heyday, in its full splendor.
I should have brought my sketchbook. Quick as a fox!
On your left, dear!
Enemy to the right!
I let you have that!
Who's next? Anyone?
Much as I want to look around, we need to find your god fast.
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before. Shale rises to smother us. Keep them out. Keep us in. We feel no spark of the Tibaris Inachus in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. The deer, the owls in our trunk, they took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. a means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. A jug to catch water. We overflowed. We persisted. We were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then they turned to what the Aedyr had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. A mouth silenced. A record of time rendered in ruins. The Aedyr howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Our flailing smothered the cries. Were they theirs? Ours? The needle struck. They raised machines. We tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then... nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. A chill wind. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand. We cannot choose where seeds fall, yet we can feed. Prune, protect. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
We've got company! Come on! Come on!
If you insist.
Loose end!
It's funny. I don't think I've ever seen an Aedyr building like that, but it looks familiar. We can take a look, can't we? I think we've found Sapodal's home.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sapodal's cage. Charge it up. Just a little spark. Absolutely not. Just a little spark. Little power goes a long way.
This place seems less like a death trap. Maybe we could stop, catch our breath.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. Same. I'd rather have good company in a prison than paradise alone.
Had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled. But when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure